And what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video of Curry Tech, and today we'll be talking about two motherboards, comparing them side by side. This video is about b450 and which motherboards of b450 you should get. So right now, I have here the Asus ROG Strix b450-f gaming motherboard. In the box, you get not only the manual, a CD, but no one just CDs anymore to get the drivers, two SATA ports. IO is actually pre-installed on this board. It's a very nice board, by the way, by ROG Strix. And the chipset is obviously b450, featuring two PCIe Gen 3 slots and three PCIe Gen 3 X16 slots. So not Gen 4, but Gen 3 to Gen 4 is a whole different story of bandwidth, and that'll be another video. Features 4 DIMM slots, can feature up to, I believe, 128 gigabytes of RAM, and features a 24 pin on the side, a bunch of fan headers on the top and bottom, and also an ARGB or RGB adjustable port. And what also comes in the box, I believe, is the user manual. Unfortunately, this board that I have actually broke, this Asus one, so I still haven't gotten my RMA for it, so which sucks, but it's still not going to be a biased review just because it broke. When this board was working, the BIOS, compared to the other motherboard I'm about to show you, was actually a lot more professional and well-rounded looking. This motherboard that I have in my system currently is the b450 Aorus Pro Wifi. Both motherboards do feature Gen 3 ready and Gen 2 CPUs for AMD. This is an AM4 socket type motherboard. The big difference between these two is that one has Wi-Fi and one has not. It just depends on your situation. On whether or not you need a Wi-Fi antenna or you need Ethernet. Not that many people have an Ethernet port right near them, so Wi-Fi is built into a motherboard is very great feature that a lot of people need. I needed it because this one broke and I just didn't want an Ethernet port anymore. And both are very good. The BIOSes are totally different on both motherboards. This one seems a little bit more outdated, even though I updated the BIOS. This one features the new Asus BIOS, which was very clean, very easy to navigate. Both are easy to navigate, very easy to use, simple. Both can overclock the RAM if you really want to, or the CPU very well. I have noted that the Asus ROG Strix b450-f gaming actually has problems with VRMs, but I will go and check that anyway. But when this board was working, it was a very solid board. It just had the white VGA light problem, and I confirmed that it was the motherboard that was broken from the start. Out of the box experience, this one caused me the most trouble when I was building my system. That when I booted it up, I got the white VGA light right away. Whereas this b450 Aorus, it just booted straight out of the box. Like, everything worked perfect, everything. The lights on the bottom, the QLED error lights. This one features it at the side of the motherboard. So pretend this is the motherboard. The lights to determine whether something is broken is actually on the side right here. So, but on the b450 Aorus one, which is this one right here, it actually features it on the bottom, bottom of the motherboard. So instead of on the side, let's say, it's actually right here near the bottom of it, which I found kind of pretty neat because my system is sort of on the ground, but it's raised on something, so having to bend my neck down to see if there's anything going on kind of was annoying. So when I got this one, I saw, oh, the QLED error code was right there. It was actually very easy to just look down. Oh, nothing, it's good, no lights. And the PCIe slots on both of them are they're built way different. This Asus one, I found a little wonky and shaky. Like I could put in the card, and the card would almost like pull down, even though the card wasn't even that heavy. The PCI slot couldn't even handle it, which I found kind of weird. This Aorus motherboard actually features a reinforced PCIe armor slot, which I was like, is that really a difference? But yeah, it was actually a big difference. This PCIe Gen slot compared to this one, the Aorus's PCIe Gen slot actually held the card solid. Like, it was like solid, it wouldn't move at all. And I was like, that's a big difference between these two boards. And I got this for $130, and I believe this one was also $130, but I feel like you get more of a value out of this one. Both are built very well. To me, my personal preference was this Aorus board just felt more of a quality board. Like, I could lift it and it felt really like solid and heavy compared to this Aorus one. Kind of felt a little flimsy, a little light. What else? Um, the Aorus one talks about their audio and everything. All motherboards have good audio, onboard audio, so there's no need to worry about that. The only thing about the Aorus one was when I was moving it, the thermal covers for the M.2s was like shaking, so I had to like screw those down because apparently the manufacturer didn't screw it down all the way. The RGB2 Fusion for Gigabyte motherboards, don't use it. It's not good at all. It's so wonky, it's really bad. It just was not a good overall experience for their RGB software. Asus's Aura Sync and all their softwares are actually really good. They are well polished, clean, and overall great user-friendly experience compared to the RGB Fusion 2.0. That's what I've noticed from the two of these motherboards. Both feature almost about the exact same things. They both try to boast about power VRMs, great power designs, great chipsets, capacitors, M.2 covers. However, I will say that the Gigabyte motherboard actually comes with covers for M.2s rather than this or Asus board, and the Asus board kind of just leaves it bare open, which for $130 I would have liked to see a cover, but it's okay. Both support Athlon chips as well, even though the Asus one says say on the box. I've checked it. What else? To turn off the LEDs, it was so confusing at first. I was like, why isn't it turning off when I shut down the PC? I checked in the BIOS and I turned the LED things on by accident. The LED during sleep and hibernation on, so I turned that off and that fixed that problem. Usually it should already be off, so that was me on accident. If I had to choose which board I really enjoyed, I would have to go with the Gigabyte one, just because the durability and just the quality I felt throughout this whole motherboard was a better experience than the Asus one. Even though the Asus one was good, don't get me wrong, I just got unlucky that mine was bad at the beginning. Still a great board, but for the fact that you get Wi-Fi and you get the great kind of power delivery and also the QLEDs. Oh, and there's also one thing. So on the bottom of the boards you have the F panel connectors or the power reset and the reset switches. Those pins on this board are actually laid bare. So pretend you're routing a cable and you're like you're trying to not scratch those pins, but like it's really a tight fit and you scratch those pins, and it's kind of annoying for a $130 motherboard. You don't have covers over those pins like the HDI audio, the USB 2.0 ports, and the F panel connectors were all just bare on this motherboard. Where the Gigabyte one actually had covers, like rectangle covers, that made sure to protect those pins, which I really liked about it, and also held all the connectors, my cables, when I plugged them in securely, so I don't have to worry about it falling out. There is one thing about the Gigabyte motherboard where, so you know how there's RGB on, and sometimes there's RGB right here, right on these logos. So that means there's LEDs on the inside of that cover that's holding the RGB and all the USB ports. Asus did a good job of covering the entire thing rather than Gigabyte, who left a portion of the top open where I can see the LED light that's illuminating their logo, and from a certain angle, like if I'm looking down at it, I can see the LED, and it's kind of annoying that you didn't cover that one area in the back. I believe the reason was there's a capacitor there, so that's why they didn't want to put a cover. It's kind of like, what? You put a pre-installed I/O, why didn't you just cover the rest of the USB connectors from the back of the motherboard? That's like my one complaint about it. It's kind of nitpicky, but come on, you could have done better than that. But all in all, both solid motherboards. I do recommend the Gigabyte one over the Asus Strix one because Asus does tend to overprice their products, including graphics cards as well. Some of the highest MSRP graphics cards that go from MSRP are from Asus because there's just the more flashy, aesthetically ones. But if it doesn't work, then it's kind of like, what, you know? Anyway, thank you guys for watching about these two reviews on the motherboard. Hope you learned about these two motherboards and which one you want. Leave a like and comment on this video, and keep on gaming. Peace out.